Finally, an excellent beef Madras recipe. I know it sort of contradicts the point because most Hindus don't eat beef, but this is a beef recipe. So if you want to change this beef for lamb, not a problem. But this is the first recipe that has a variety of luxurious techniques that is really going to deliver the results, and it's going to go to where most restaurants would never go because they just don't have the time and often don't even have the knowledge. So let's start by saying that I've just not long come back from Chennai, which is the new word for Madras in Tamil Nadu, so I've got a lot of knowledge as well by living in Malaysia, where the 30% of the community is Tamil Nadu, so I'm really familiar with this type of food. So all the ingredients are really authentically put together, so we're going to come up with a formidable meal. So let's talk about the ingredients. We've got 700 grams of diced beef on the lean side. We're going to be boiling that down and packing in flavour we've got some zest of a lime, the majority of which. We've got a tablespoon of fennel, we've got salt to taste, we've got about 10 cloves, we've got a heap teaspoon of turmeric, a generous pinch of hing, a 2-inch or a piece of cassia bark, you can use cinnamon if you want, and we've got about 10 green cardamom, we've got 3 black cardamom, nice smoky taste. We'll be also adding a smoky taste with a technique that I've got coming up in a moment. We've got some meat tenderizer, which is an extract from the papaya fruit. We've got 2 chives of mace, we've got a tablespoon of fenugreek seed. I love fenugreek and so do they in Tamil Nadu, so this is going to have all the fantastic fruity, full flavoured taste. Teaspoon of black pepper, 3 dried red chilies, some tejpata, 2 Indian bay leaves. We're going to be sweating down 6 red onions. You very rarely see the white onions in a lot of places in India, so red onions. We've also got 200 gram of fresh coconut. This is actually frozen, and we've got about 3 tablespoons of melon seed. We're going to be sweating that down and we're going to be blending it. We've got about 30 curry leaves, the quintessential taste of southern India. There's nothing like it. Do not use dried. We've got 3 green chilies for tarka. We've got the juice of a lime, and I've finally got a really nice juice extractor I can't wait to use. We've got some green chilies whole, just topped. Powdered spices, we've got a teaspoon of turmeric, we've got a teaspoon and a bit of Kashmiri chili powder, we've got salt to taste. The brown one here is cumin, 1.5, and 2 of coriander teaspoons. 3 tablespoons of ginger and garlic paste. 700 millilitres of passata. I know it's taken 3 minutes to do that, but really, what are the shortcuts? This isn't shortcutting. If you love food and you love ingredients and you love curries, this is the video for you. Let's get cooking. First of all, we need to get a nice big pan hot because we've just boiled 1 litre of water into that pan. We've got some of my phenomenal seasoned oil. Sorry about my finger, I had an accident in the kitchen the other day and had a little bit of a burn. So we need about 2 tablespoons of the seasoned oil. So as soon as the oil's heated up, just add all the ingredients, and we just want to heat those ingredients up on a medium heat. Make sure your kitchen's smelling good, and then we're going to add some water. Give it a stir. So when your seeds are starting to jump around and pop, boiling water, just over 1 litre. And what we're going to do there, you can see how many ingredients we've got. I want all the flavour of those great seeds, herbs and spices and the citron to get into the water. So it's really important. So I'm going to simmer this down now for about 15 minutes. So we've got our stock to boil or marinate our beef. To the left hand side we need a fresh pan, and we're going to be adding some oil. Well, I have just added some oil, seasoned oil again, and we're going to sweat those onions down as soon as the oil heats up. So in with the onions. It looks like a lot of onions. Remember, we've got 700 gram of beef, but I want to slowly cook those onions down, and they're going to reduce in size rapidly. We'll come back once that happens. We're going to come back in about 15 minutes when our stock has seasoned and our onions have reduced. So it's been around 15 minutes. Now it's time to add the coconut and the melon seed and give it a good stir. Just want to toast off the melon seed and the coconut. So we've extracted the maximum flavour from all our whole spices. So what we have to do now, because I want a nice smooth sauce, I'm going to take, with a slotted spoon, I'm going to take all those spices out, like so, until you've got some nice clear stock. So we've got a nice clear stock, and look at the colour, and the flavour is absolutely exceptional. So we're just going to boil that beef now so it's absorbed all those flavours and it's nice and tender. So we'll leave that boiling. We'll swap rings over now so you can see what we are doing with the coconut, melon seed and onion. So that's all toasted off really nicely. And I'm just going to allow that to cool slightly, and I'm going to blend it into a really nice paste. And if you need a little bit of moisture to help the blend, use some of the stock. Using a touch of the stock just to get rid of the caramelisation off the bottom of the pan. We've got enough stock there, so that's fine. So just scrape away and make sure your pan's clean, get all that flavour off the side. So I've just transferred that, that's all. So we've got a nice large pan to cook the main dish, and let's have a look at the pureed melon seed, onion and coconut, and it looks delicious. Tastes great too, but not as good as it's going to taste soon. So all we need to do is, and by the way, the beef was cooking down for about 15 to 20 minutes. So let's heat a pan. So we're going to get about 4 decent portions out of this. So about 6 tablespoons of seasoned oil. And don't worry if I'm too specific on the recipe and recommendations, just use ordinary oil. It's going to taste great anyway. So if you've got my seasoned oil, you can find it on YouTube, Stephen Heap Ultimate Seasoned Oil. Use it, and if you don't. Let's adapt accordingly. Heat the oil up. Oil's heated. Oil's heated, should I say. Just infuse it with 3 chilies and the curry leaves. The oil never looks hot until you do the curry leaves. So next, ginger and garlic. Give it a stir. 1 minute, cook off the raw flavours. Smelling great. So for a truly authentic Madras, you could use some mustard seed here, but like I said, I want a really smooth sauce. One thing that's really annoyed me about this video, if you want, add 1 star anise right now. Unfortunately, I've got so many spices here, but I've run out of anise. I was really depressed when I saw that I'd run out. Anyway, you don't have to, because you're watching this video and I'm sure it's going to inspire you to cook, and you can put stuff on your shopping list. That's been cooking off about a minute. In with the powdered spices. Give it a good stir. And you want to infuse that oil even more than it's already infused. Medium heat, give it a good stir. So next I want to be adding the tomato sauce, about 150 mils, like just over a cupful at a time. Give it a stir. Let it come to the boil, let the oil split, and keep on doing it. So that's been about 8 minutes, and I just want those tomatoes to reduce. So we're just going to simmer it down, make sure nothing sticks to the side, or simply add a little bit of the beef juice. So I want that to drastically reduce by about 30–40%. So we'll come back in around 10 minutes. So that's reduced down, so it's almost gelatinous. You can see the whole thing moving, so you know a lot of moisture's gone, which ensures you've packed a lot of flavour in. So in goes the chilies, give those a quick stir. Now what we want to do is add that amazing paste, exactly the same, about 150 mils at a time. Keep stirring, bring it to the boil, keep stirring, bring it to the boil. We'll come back once that's completed. So that's been steaming away nicely. Now I've carried on boiling the beef The longer you boil it, the softer it is. So that's time to be added with what remains of the concentrated gravy. And now this is a game changer. Let's come back once I've given it a stir. So I've added some more of the stock. Just give it a stir and let it reduce down until you can see the chunks. So that's reduced down just how I like it. So we'll come back and serve it. And it smells absolutely amazing in here, and I hope it's worth it. Look at the splashing on my cooker and walls. So there it is, beef Madras, nice and authentic, very Islamic inspired. Obviously Hindus don't eat beef. So thanks for watching. Doesn't it look great?